Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, first video of the year after a 2-week break with the kids. I hope you all had a good Christmas celebration, even if COVID is still going strong outside of Hong Kong. Yet, restrictions here are further tightened as the main aim of the government is to reopen to mainland China, which means it'll be even harder for us to travel and see our families. It's getting to the point where many families in Hong Kong plan their exit from this city. Speaking of China, I hear reports that rich Chinese divert their asset allocation from the struggling property sector towards luxury watches. Pair that with a likely increase of export percentage from Rolex and Patek directly to mainland China, and I expect the price madness to keep going for 2022 in the rest of the world and in Hong Kong. Local dealers here in Hong Kong probably can't wait for hordes of mainland visitors to come grab their lingering stocks. Watches are easy to move across borders and bypass the taxman. At this point, hot models from hot brands are just investment vehicles, pulling along other brands like Vacheron, Lange and Moser. Anything and everything is hot. Independents, micro brands, you name it. There's not enough produced to cover the demand. So for something like FP Journe, it's basically a name your price situation for the lucky holders of the watches. What does it mean for us collectors? Well, I think vintage Rolex has stagnated for the past year, so you can still pick up pieces there instead of chasing the modern ones. I also like late 90s, early 2000 models from GLC or IWC. I think the quality and design was there and prices are still well below entry-level Rolex sports. I mostly think you should stop expanding the collection and focus on getting the one right watch for you and enjoy that. Just wear it. If I could start over right now, I would get probably a Bluesy or a Skydweller or maybe just a Datejust. I'm actually wearing my Datejust today and sometimes wish I had nothing else. I'm carrying a big baggage of very nice watches, but no matter how many boxes I've ticked, you can still only wear one. During the holidays, I had a selection of 5 or 6 pieces with me and it worked out great. For evening affairs, I had what remains the best release of the year to me, the Zenith Chronomaster Sport. Such a gorgeous watch that did what I hoped other brands could do, grab a piece of the wide open market caused by the Rolex craze. They did it with panache, offering a Daytona alternative that's actually better in many ways. So far, no other brand has really hit the nail on the head except perhaps Grand Seiko as an alternative to the Datejust. I expect better from GLC, whose Master Control series feels a bit too bland. Breitling came up with the Datora that's too big, too expensive, and doesn't use their own chronograph base. Their split chrono duograph is probably the best release, but again, not easy to pull off on modest wrist sizes and already being offered at a discount. The other mega release that's perfect for its price point is the Tissot PRX. It's just so satisfying on the wrist. I also had my Rolex Sea Dweller with me, of course, during the holidays, and on a hotel staycation with the kids, I tested the Tudor Black Bay GMT as the possible ideal travel watch. It's a diver first and foremost, so it doesn't fear dipping the pool. Then the GMT function lets you be a little closer to your family living abroad on this festive season. Overall, the look is so nice. I love the colors, the guardless crown, the small bevel. An extension in the clasp or an extra hole in the clasp is what would make this watch near perfect for me. For our camping outing with the kids, I took the Seiko Willard, ideal for slightly rougher activities like kayaking, hiking and lugging things around. It's nice to have that, but I have to admit I prefer wearing my Rolex watches. There's just no way around it. I've just made, speaking of Rolex, 180 on my favorite Skydweller after finally trying on the least preferred model on the market, the wide dial two-tone. The dial turned out not to be quite wide actually, and the shade on the wrist actually looks stunning. I have a big tax bill to pay again, so I am considering trading in pieces to get this Skydweller. I just had a little watch safari and noticed how very few of those can be found. Low production is always a key to success with Rolex ownership. Speaking of which, March 30 will see new releases from Rolex and Tudor perhaps as well. It's insane to think that I have not seen a single new released model from Rolex since Baselworld 2018. 4 years, nada, nothing, rien du tout. Right now, all displays in Hong Kong are empty. I amuse myself taking pics of those empty shops, some of which have removed the displays altogether. Patek ADs are equally empty here in Hong Kong. Prices of watches I considered before keep on rising. The root beer is now at 200,000 Hong Kong dollar from 150 a year ago. The racing dial Daytonas that traded near 100k have passed 220k. That's just insane. Dealers are biding their time and positioning themselves especially on flashier pieces for mainland reopening and hope to clean up big when it happens. On a different note, quick shout out to David, a young watch lover starting his collection who recognized my voice in the brand new and only Oris boutique yesterday in Yomate. The boutique, by the way, had all the limited and boutique edition pieces. I had a look at the Moonphase Aquis, which didn't really rock my world. I also noticed that the date was crooked on it. Careful there. And I had a peek at the new rectangular models. Cute, quite tiny, but I think they just say you can't afford a reverso, so I'd rather buy an Oris that's true and true Oris, like the Diver 65 or a Pilot. That's about it for my New Year address. I'm back to work. It's gonna be a busy year, but I'll try to keep you guys entertained and informed. Watch out for a collection review coming very soon, by the way. Take care, guys.